All right, we are at the track. Jacob is all suited up. So we've got the Triumph 675, R1, and then Will and his R6 are currently in class, so they're gone. So yeah, about to go out for the first session. There's a little bit of standing water in a couple of the corners, and it's chilly out. The track's cold, tires are cold, bike's cold, bodies are cold. And so I think for this first session, I'm just gonna do a third gear drill, leave it in third gear the whole time, practice on the line, let the bike kind of come to me, let the track warm up a little bit, and then we'll go to classroom, break it down, and see what we need to work on. So here's a video from first session. Not terrible after first session. Still really need to work on my line through the kind of switchback, curvy, tighter section of this track. I feel way more confident and comfortable on the high speed turns than I do the low speed turns. So I'm gonna ask the instructors, for some feedback on that. How can I build my confidence on the low speed stuff? Also, the suspension is still stock from Yamaha, and in the braking zones, it is full compression all the way down. So after my classroom session, I'm going to go to the suspension guy here on track and have him dial in the suspension to my rider weight and kind of for what we're doing on this track. So see you guys in a second. My freaking knees are killing me though. Oh my god. I'm hoping I just need to loosen up a little bit, but Jesus. So we found a lot in the suspension that was just not right for my body weight. The rear had way too much sag in it, basically means the rear spring wasn't stiff enough, and that caused all of the weight to be on the back of the bike in the low speed corners, making the front really darty and uneasy. So we fixed that. We tightened the compression up a whole bunch in the front because I had a ton of brake dive, and unfortunately there was a line with the suspension guy, so I missed my second track session. So I'll be going out the third time for my second round with intermediate again, and we'll do some one-on-one with an instructor to kind of go over, my pace and where can I pick up time, how to make me more comfortable, more confident on the track. The bike is doing awesome. I mean, just being on it, just riding it on track, I can tell that there is so much more to go that this chassis and that this bike can handle. So it's kind of confident, inspiring knowing that. Now I just need to work on the line and then slowly improving my pace. Okay, second session finished. Suspension changes definitely made a big improvement, and then one of the instructors told me to put the bike into power 3. So I did that. That made a huge difference. So if you have an R1, if you're on track, put it in power mode 3. It makes the throttle a lot smoother on acceleration as well as decel. And so that helped a lot too. High speed corners look good. I had a couple whoopses on the line. So for this next session, I'm going to focus really hard on maintaining the line through the quick or the lower speed, quicker switchbacks, and then also low speed corners, just picking up the pace a little bit, trusting the tires a little bit, and let the bike do its job. Alright, that session felt really good. Starting to use the tire almost all the way out. Basically, there's another rider who's on a pretty fast bike. He's on an 1199S Panigale, and he's with the same color group with the same instructor as me on a similar DOT road tire. And so basically, I just paced him for most of that session because previously he was much faster than I was. So I just told myself, if he's going through the corners with the same tires and a similar bike, I need to nut up and get in there with him. And honestly, it worked. I also adjusted my body position to get off the bike a little bit more in the slow speed stuff. That helped a bunch as well. And towards the end of the session, the GoPro died, but towards the end of the session, finally had enough pace to where I felt comfortable passing him actually, and then and kind of going off on my own. So feeling really good. This next session, we're going to do another pace with the instructor. So he's going to follow and record me on video, and then after it, we'll review in class and kind of look at certain areas where I can improve my line, improve my riding style, maybe brake a little bit later, and overall keep going. But the R1 is doing awesome. I've noticed with this bike, and my instructor is the one who pointed this out, he said these really fast bikes, the suspension, the way the suspension and the shock and the springs are set up is they almost need to be going a certain pace so that they can compress and get into the correct zone where all the valving in the shock is correct, where the spring is tuned for the bike. And honestly, if you go slower than that pace, the bike feels really twitchy and jerky, but as you increase pace and get into that sweet spot, it actually all smooths out and gets more stable. And so got to experience that firsthand. It's true. And the faster you go, the more lean angle you can carry, and you can start using the side of the tire where the rubber is substantially softer than the center of the tire. These are tri-compound or dual compound tires, And so the center is really hard for daily driving, and then it gets softer and softer as you work your way towards the edge. I have absolutely no idea how to read a tire, so if any of you guys have any insight, please let me know if this needs if it has too much pressure, needs less pressure, if it needs a shock adjustment. Let me know in the comments below. There's not much around the tread block, because I know some people say you want to look for curling around that, so maybe I'm not quite there yet, but all in all, feeling really good. This bike freaking rips when you start pushing it. Yeah, went over the video with the instructor where he followed me and filmed me on that session. No bad habits, no critiques, line looks good, braking points look good, throttle application looks good, body position could get a little bit more off the bike, but overall not bad. So yeah, he said just keep doing what I'm doing, and now let's start building pace, start feeling the bike, start pushing it a little bit further, and just let it come to me. So we're getting ready to go out for our last session of the day, and I'm just gonna relax, have fun, not try to do anything crazy, and have a good end to this trip. Final session done. R1 is back on the hitch haul. So good. It's almost like Yamaha designed it to be a track bike. It's just totally different than the Street Fighter was on track. Just the tip in, the way it holds a line, the braking. It's just so good. Jacob did amazing with his first track day on the Triumph.
I did that.
Will is ready to move up into intermediate, so he'll be with me next time on track, which will be awesome to have a buddy with me again. And yeah, overall good weekend. I definitely am getting a set of GYTR rear sets though for this bike, so I can go reverse shift, because again, this track has a couple super fast accelerating through right-hand sweepers, and hanging off the bike, it is almost impossible to then get your foot under the shifter and click up while you're trying to hold on way up here. So reverse shifter will allow me just to click down to go up gears as I'm accelerating out of the turn. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.